Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Abundance Tree Podcast. I'm your host, Janice Luke, and I'm here with my co-host.
April Capri.
What's up, April?
What's up, Janice?
Hey, do you like the new background?
I love the new background and I love the new logo and I love the new store. We're gonna have to look at that one day.
Yes, girl. So the new and improved background and logo, we kind of, did some revamping, and we do have our new store, by the way. So the link will be in the description. And so if y'all decide to purchase, if you wear any of our merch or t-shirts or something, tag us on Instagram or, tag us on social media so we can shout you out. Because
Absolutely.
any contribution will support our channel. It helps us produce, because it does cost a little bit to, produce all our reels we've been doing and videos and things. And so that would totally help us out. So we appreciate you if you appreciate us.
Definitely.
so so guess what? We're at episode 48. So we've come a mighty long way. So I'm so excited because the guest that we have tonight is actually our first returning guest. I'm so excited. I'm serious. Like, seriously, I'm stoked.
Yes, it has officially been about
Well,
8 or 9 months since
it's
we
been
started and
yeah, it's
six
been like
months since
8.
our guests have been on. So we want to definitely capture, the journey in real life, the business journey, the life journey, the growth journey. So we will be having some updates from some of our previous guests coming soon. So this is our first one.
Right. That's awesome. I'm so excited.
Yes,
So we have a returning guest. It's Jonathan Taylor.
yeah,
He's the, if y'all recall, he was the renowned guitarist. So he was from episode 13. Is that right, April? I think.
yes, episode 13.
So you want to stay tuned and learn about this gentleman. So go ahead, April. Who do we have tonight?
We do. We're blessed to have knowledge from a veteran in the game. We have someone who has been hailed by the Philadelphia Inquirer as America's leading classical guitarist. Let's applaud this musical luminary, Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, so you need to go back and go to our YouTube channel, The Abundance Tree, and go back and search for episode 13. And you need to rewatch that video or that episode before this one so you can be, in line with all the updates and things of that nature. So make sure you go back and watch it, episode 13, or listen to it if you're listening to it on Spotify. And you said that you use the same guitar for 40 years?
The guitar is made by a luthier, a guitar maker named Antonio Marin Montero, and that was made in 1978 or 9. And at that time, I purchased it for $3,000. It's worth about $12,000 now.
A musician or a singer or somebody that wants to grow their talent into a business, do you have anything to say to that person?
Yes, so you have to pursue record deals, even if you may be on the south side of that deal. You have to keep knocking at the door. You cannot know which inquiry will fall into your lap. You just have to keep charging ahead, keep knocking on the door. There's no other way.
So I'm just excited because we're on our first update guest. So I'm a little bit excited. I'm probably over the top.
I love it.
It's
The
all good.
world-renowned classical guitarist, Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan.
Getting my audio together.
Right.
Can you hear me?
We
Yeah.
can hear you. We can't see you.
Uh-oh. Okay. How about
There he
now?
is. He's coming. There he is.
There he is.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Cut my head off.
Oh.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that. Yeah.
That would be deadly.
Yeah. So
Hey,
bring
you
your.
guys are doing a great job. I love it. So,
Thank
all
you.
sorts of things going on. I know they're trying to find out what are your guests doing? Where are they now?
Yeah,
About
nice
the update.
updates.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you know what so lately I'm in Las Vegas. And
Okay.
I'm in Las Vegas in about 8 days a week or so. I'll be up in LA, but I'm always filming performance videos. But what is really exciting that's been happening is I have an attorney now, a music attorney that submits my tracks of my 32 album catalog to sync managers. And what is that called? What is that? It's any film that you have, you'll hear music in the background, you'll hear it on a video, on a commercial, on a YouTube channel, whatever it is. And so that's what I'm doing now. Because to tell your listeners the truth, to the streaming for an artist, I go, very few people make good money on it.
Mm.
Wow, that's
It's
awesome.
very difficult because, well, it's Spotify is a Swedish company. It's very different than in America. There's certain rules American companies have to follow. And so, it's not to complain, but it's also to reveal and to tell the truth and to let people know about where is their living in music. It's very, very different than buying a tape or a CD and a record and all that stuff. Like, it's a whole different world.
Yes, it
Streaming is a
is.
whole different world. Yeah.
I
It
bet.
sure is. So
Yeah.
before we go any further, thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming back on with us. But could you lower your camera just a little bit because it's only
Okay.
getting
I
your
can't.
head. There you
There we
go.
go.
That'll make our clips come out better.
I put the rest of my head on.
There
Yeah.
you go. Thank you. So yeah, so that's exciting. You're absolutely right about how the streaming music is so much different. I remember CDs of I remember making cassette tapes, so
So
but it's so awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
definitely. Is it
And
called a sync catalog?
that's right. It's
I've
called
never heard of that.
and why it calls it that is because it's syncing the music with the film. And that's the purpose of that. And in the old days, you had, and now they call them a music supervisor. What
Mhm.
type of songs are you going to put in this? Is it going to be an orchestra? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? So that's like the main source of income now for musicians, other than touring, live performance, other than live performance. Because the record thing, I go, well, remember in the 90s when it vanished? And maybe you don't
I
remember.
do. No, I
Yes,
do.
Yeah,
I do.
yes.
I had a
but
favorite record shop actually.
before that, people were buying vinyl tapes, CDs, and that. And then the MP3 file came along, and you could compress a ton of data
Right.
into that little file. And I remember in San Diego, they had mp3.com. I was the number one download on it. And I go, yeah, so what? I haven't got a penny from it.
Oh wow.
I go, may I have a sandwich for lunch? You know,
Right.
I mean, so
Wow. Right. Throw me a bone. And so
yeah,
that's
and then to further that down about a little bit about the history of where everything was and where it's come to, is that Steve Jobs said, "Hey," he creates the iPod. I can put 100 songs, 1,000 songs, whatever it was, on the iPod, and you carry it with you in your pocket and that. And I go, here's how that works. He went to the record companies that own the rights to all the songs of the artists that everyone likes. And they say, so let's say it's the Temptations, right? My Girl, okay? Something like that. And you go, wow, that's a great song. I love that song. I go, but who's making money from it, right?
Mhm.
And so at that point, the whole world of CDs, tapes, vinyl was out the door. And Steve Jobs said, we're going to pay you a percentage of 99 cents. We're going to charge 99 cents a song. And the artist rebelled and said, no, I want my whole album up there.
Right.
I don't want just my hit or the one that we think is going to be a hit. And so Jobs said, tough luck, like it or lump it. Sign this or you won't get any money. And that's the truth about those things. Remember when Prince started to reveal to the world, the record world? Prince did this. It's a big deal. He's a great guy, and very tragic death, very sad. Uh, but I go, oh no, Prince. He'd be in his neighborhood, and a little 10-year-old would say, "Hey, do you own your music?" It goes, "Oh no, it's a record company owns my music." It goes, "That's weird." So
Oh
even a
man.
10-year-old
Yeah.
knows
Yeah.
fairness.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, I've talked on and on here for.
A quick
That's all good.
question. Oh, go ahead, Janice.
No, you're good. I was just saying that's okay. You can,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have a question because what you're saying is spot on about how the industry has changed. And I know some of the newer folks that have come exclusively into the electronic world,
Sure.
they've never seen a CD, a cassette tape, album,
Yeah, yeah,
all that stuff, right? How
sure.
would you, I guess, how would you kind of explain to a musician or a creative how, like, what other ways are there to make money by producing music through this sync catalog?
Sure, sure. So y- everyone now they're marketing 1 million courses online. Sync,
Oh, really?
learn this, learn that, and I go, yeah, it's just take another way to take artists' money out of their pocket even more,
Mm.
right? And so here's what it is: you as a musician out there have to have a relationship with a music supervisor. How do you do that? Okay, that's the question. Now, you have to find a way to contact them. There are many databases, LinkedIn is one of them, where you contact these people and you make friends with them or whatever. And then people say, well, what is the percentage of return? I go, probably 1 or 2%. So you may get reaction from 1, 2, maybe 3%. My mother used to say it was 3% when she was advertising with Encyclopedia Britannica. But so you got to know that if you're a musician, and come on, man, everyone wants to make money from their music. Are you crazy? Of course, naturally. I go, well, you got to get in contact with these people, and you have to find a way to connect with them, because there's an old saying: people that don't do well in life take jobs, but the big winners are ones that build their network, that network of people, just like you're doing now. You're
That's a gem.
building, yeah, all the time. I mean, it's like little spider fingers, like a tree branch, right? It's going octopus, right? Exactly.
They
That
say
is
your
so
network
cool.
is your net worth.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what they say. Yeah, that's awesome. So, but you got to cast your net, and then, um, unfortunately, the return isn't that great. You said 1 to 2% respond, but
But all you may need is that.
yeah,
I
okay,
told you, certain people, like the one hit wonder. People say, "Oh, they only had one hit," and I go, "You have no idea the meaning of that. That means they can do fairgrounds until they're ready for the grave." You
right,
know,
yeah,
so that's a
and
value.
yeah, I guess you heard of it too, like when like podcasts or YouTube videos go, that one video went viral. So,
Totally.
so it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah.
And who knows why that is? You
Yeah.
know, I mean, who knows why that one goes viral, and a guy on a skateboard or something, you know, and well, well, who
Wow, that's
knows?
awesome. So you're currently in Las Vegas right now,
Yeah,
and you're
right now.
recording and everything. And then you said
Yeah,
LA.
and
Uh,
in about 8 days, 9 days, 7 days, something like that, and then in LA. But there's one little great park that they've recorded me in before, where you see the cityscape in the background, but you have all this foliage in the foreground, so the perspective is the contrast, and it's very artful,
oh wow,
right?
that's awesome.
Very nice.
So I'm saying that because May filmed that. That's why I'm saying that. Yeah.
Very nice. Have you done
Awesome.
any more live performances or been to any cool
You,
places?
you know what? I've been so involved with doing the film stuff and with my attorney and all that stuff, that I have not.
Okay.
Uh, I've done some filming of videos, as I'm always doing in some way or another. Like today I couldn't. And why couldn't I? Because it was 104 degrees.
Jesus, it's
Yeah.
140
That's
degrees in
Yeah.
Vegas? Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I
Mm-mm.
looked at my phone. There was 104, and I just laid down and died. No.
Yeah. That's too hot. That's
It's way
crazy.
too hot. It's way too hot. It's
Yeah.
like 90 something where I am, but it's been triple digits where Janice is, and
It
yeah.
it has.
Yeah.
It's too
Oh, it's
hot.
triple digits there, right? No, not right now.
In Texas, it's been triple digits where I'm at. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
well,
Yes.
what would happen if the grid went out? The electrical
Uh,
grid.
I would
uh,
have to find me a great big block of ice or a glacier that
That's right.
hasn't melted yet.
That's so true. Yes.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
be
good.
going north for sure.
Yeah, I'm headed north.
I would be
Where
making
you
my way
headed?
north ASAP. Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be really
just
neat.
need a compass with an N on it. That's all
Yeah,
you need.
right?
So your Jonathan Taylor coaching, I think you had a coaching program too. Are
Well,
you?
I have an app that
Oh, the
people can
app. Okay,
download for
that's right.
free.
Yes.
And if you're an Android user, you just type Jonathan Taylor, no break, JONATHAN, no other spelling, Taylor. And if you're a iPhone user, type Jonathan Taylor into the what's it called Apple Store, and it will come up. It's free. Oh, did I mention it's free? Oh, I forgot to say that it was free.
I remember that. That's
Yeah.
free. Yes. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, um, the Las Vegas and the Los Angeles and everything. You said you're filming and playing, right? So, and
Well, that's what I'm meaning. They're
okay,
filming me playing guitar.
okay,
Okay.
and it's streaming out on Spotify and platforms of that nature,
If
or
you just type Jonathan Taylor guitar into Google, there'll be a ton of videos in different settings, different, environments and that, backdrops, whatever. Just a ton of them. And it'll be on that app. And the
awesome,
app is free. How easy is that?
right? Are they taking care of you, Jonathan? I hope so.
Yeah. All
Okay,
good.
good,
I think
awesome.
that's really smart because I also feel like a lot of musicians do feel like, I see on YouTube and Instagram that they do a lot of their stuff for free, speaking of free. And so I think that's a really good way to, help people that are usually producing things for free monetize their product because it's valuable. And there's also a lot of independent films, independent projects. There's a lot of stuff going on just with social media and stuff that could use music that people don't even think about. You may just think
Totally.
like kind of like a
Yeah.
stock photo. I didn't think that there was stock audio for certain things,
Right. So I want to say, just to interject here, just to make sure the message this episode is clear, everyone should build their network. In other words, and I want to emphasize this, because I go, well, do you think you can lift that whole stone there on your own? Because you can't. So you have to, get your friend. So I want to emphasize that, because if we think I must have a job because I must pay the rent and have food and take care of the blah, 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 and I say, okay, I totally hear that. I sympathize, empathize with that. And at the same time, you're building your network at the same time doing that. And you have to find passion with that. And if you don't, I go, oh, you won't do it.
Yeah,
If you don't have a passion, you won't do it.
absolutely. So I always
You'll
like to
say, I
tell,
want to go to sleep and eat.
right? That's
Yeah.
true.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah. So I always tell our listeners that, well, from the very beginning of me and April starting our podcast, we've told our listeners that they're seeing our journey in real time, and we're building our network out too. So we totally can relate to that. And so, and it's not too late because I'm already, I guess I hate to say it, but I'm considered middle aged now, unfortunately. But it's all good. It's not
I
too
doubt
late.
it.
So
No.
I don't know what I'm considered, but
seasoned.
That's
people
the
are
way to
trying to
be,
call me
right there.
auntie.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what I'm considered as the way to be.
I should say seasoned because I have said that too. I'm seasoned. I'll say that, but it's not too late. My point is,
Well, you
I'm just
didn't
trying to
just fall
encourage
off the
people.
turnip truck.
No, exactly. But I don't want people to get discouraged about, like you said, building their network or starting, because it's not going to be too late. Just start.
Colonel Sanders didn't
Yeah.
make any money until he was 65.
Right.
Goodness.
And
Exactly.
he sold the recipe rub. Maybe I went through this. He sold that from the back of his Ford station wagon to local restaurants in the South.
Smart.
Oh, I
Absolutely.
like this type of chicken. I like that type of chicken. Here, try this new 13. I just made this formula, 13 spices, and it caught on. What
Right.
was that chicken you had last time? Right? And I want that. And I go, and
Yeah.
then what did he do? I go, he spent a few years doing that. Then he sold it and got a residual,
Yeah.
as well as a
Absolutely.
payment.
Yeah. So
Yes,
speak on,
well,
like, I know that person that want to start a side hustle, some people call it that. Speak
Mhm.
on, like, whether or not, they have to like what they do, right? It has to be kind of a passion
Absolutely.
for them.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's true in one sense, sweetheart. That is absolutely true. And in another sense, I go, well, when you do your duty becomes your joy. And I think I said this last time, maybe. But if you have a repulsion toward it, the problem is you won't do it. So you have to find that part of you that says, okay, I'm putting that behind me, and I'm going to try this and move forward. So that's the type of attitude.
Yeah, absolutely. And keep going, consistency. Don't stop, right? Don't
It
give
may
up.
be that the prime virtue, even though one says it's courage from which all other virtues descend, but other people think that virtue is different than that, and that the virtue now has you won't do anything out of your comfort zone unless you have courage. Okay, let me put it this way. Okay, I'm going off in a different direction. If you, and you won't do things that are unfamiliar to you. So what do you have to do? I go, it's just like a child. She puts her foot down, and then it's very wobbly and unstable, and she has to fall down like 10 times before she can get something going. And I go, but all people are like this through their entire lives. And if you have just one mustard seed, as they say, of courage, if you just have that amount of faith, and I go, then you take a small baby step. And then as it happens, it grows.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely some gems.
I love that. And I also like how you're laser focused right now. Like when we saw you, I think that was back in December, you were everywhere. You were going here, this city, that city, this city.
Right,
You're
right,
like
right.
laser focused. You're like, I'm doing this and I'm just doing this. And I think
Yeah.
that's important too, not to spread yourself too thin and to really focus in
I,
on what you're doing.
thank you. I think you're right. And the truth is, only so many hours in the day.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Only, and you have to have some degree of relaxation.
You do. That's big,
Yeah.
because you can get
Yeah.
burned out,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So that's so good. I'm so happy for you.
Okay,
Uh
thank you. I'm happy for you
yeah.
guys. You guys are going to continue on, and then we're going to have part 3.
Yep.
Yeah, and I would
Absolutely.
love to see some of the work that has been using your music from the not sync gallery. What's it
No,
called? The
no,
sync
I know what you're saying.
catalog.
Yes, think it is kind of a gallery, actually, but
Okay, sync catalog.
yeah,
Think
Would
how I'm
love
gonna
to
write
get
that down.
a visual on that so people can kind of see that there are options out
yeah.
here, not to get
And well, let's see
discouraged.
where it goes in 6 months.
That
Absolutely.
too.
And then we're
Yeah.
gonna have
Yeah,
you back, and you're gonna share it with us.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either that or I won't get anything. You'll say, I don't want him on.
Oh no.
Oh no, never
No.
that, never that,
No.
never that. No.
We still want to hear about your journey, so it's like we're
Yeah.
pretty authentic, and so we
Well,
want to show
you're
the
totally
authentic journey.
authentic.
So yeah,
There
so
was a fake bone in your bodies.
right, we want to hear
Oh,
about the
no.
authentic journey. We're here for it. We're celebrating it no matter what. So we
And
You
to
do
be
it.
guys,
honest, your expertise and just you have decades of experience. You can't buy that. You can't borrow that. You can't ask somebody that. You can only take time to really learn it. So the fact that you're sharing it is invaluable So we will have you back as many times as you care to share, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, you
Yeah.
guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
All right.
sir. Thank
Had a
you.
great time.
Thank
Always.
you. Before you go,
Okay,
remind
see you
people
soon.
again where we can find you again before you
Oh,
Oh
go.
yeah, just type
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor, no break in Google Play if you have an Android, and if you have an iPhone, then type it into Apple Store. Jonathan Taylor, no break. Download the app. It's free. I forgot to tell them that.
Absolutely. And
I encourage musicians to reach out, to follow,
That's right.
to connect with Jonathan Taylor. You guys get some ideas
And to connect with
Get your
everybody.
network. Correct.
Yeah, to build your network.
yeah, absolutely. And go back and watch episode 13, the first
Yes.
episode we had Jonathan on. So do that
Yeah.
first. Do that and then come back to this one. But anyway,
All right, guys.
thank you
Sounds
so much,
good.
Jonathan.
Have fun
one.
in
Talk to
Vegas
you
and stay
soon.
cool.
Okay, man. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.